So, you came back, and that matters more than you think it does. Maybe it was last week, 6 months ago, or even longer, but you've only just admitted it to yourself. At some point though, you picked up your guitar again, sat down at the piano, or even just started singing to yourself with new melodies in the shower or whilst washing up. Maybe you opened the door again, one you hadn't been near in years, full of old songs, half-finished ideas, riffs that went nowhere. And I bet I know how it went. You picked up the guitar and yet it's barely out of tune. You think, wow, that's cool. But you have to find scissors because your nails are grown. 2 minutes later, you're back. You start to play, but now your fingertips are sore. Then your fingers and your hands start to tire and cramp, and you realise your hands have got completely unfit. A bit like going back to the gym after an extended break, and after 2 minutes on the running machine, you're gasping. Except you never did the gym for love, did you? We tolerate the gym. We go because you have to stay fit, because the alternative, being inactive, is worse. The guitar is different though. With the guitar, you know full well what it puts you through. The broken string at exactly the wrong moment, the take that was almost perfect, and then you hit a bum note. The bandmate who cancelled the session after you already packed up all your gear, got it in the car, and the room is paid for by you. The mix that's 90% there and won't cross the line because there's always something wrong. You know, all of that, and you come back anyway. And then sometimes in the middle of it all, that vibe just takes over and you remember why you started. Not the recording, not the finished track, just this moment of joy, of playing with nowhere particular to go and no one there to hear. Now, I want to say something about that moment because I think most people who come back to music after a real gap, and here I'm not talking about just taking a week or two off, I mean a proper absence, years in the wilderness, underestimate what they've actually done. Let me give you some context. The world is currently outsourcing creativity to machines. I get accused of it in the comments week after week. It has got to the point where people see AI even where there is none. And with music, it is even worse because there's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, or fame and adoration from getting a #1 or even maybe a #10. And what does success mean to you? But anyway, I digress. Millions of people are generating music with just a few text prompts and a free account. Not only do they not have an instrument, they have no craft. They have not spent years getting it wrong before the pieces started to fall into place. And exactly that moment in the modern world, you decided to pick the guitar back up or start writing some new lyrics. And let me tell you, that's not a coincidence that I'm going to let pass without a comment. Because at exactly the moment the world became obsessed with generating things instantly and with no real effort, a quiet group of people, yourself included, quietly decided to go the other way, in a slower direction, one that is more human, more real. You came back to the instrument, and being part of that group is more interesting than you might think. I want to be honest here because the Quiet Rebel doesn't do dishonesty. Some of what AI generates is technically impressive. There is music that on first listen sounds great. There's no point in trying to pretend otherwise, but it has no root in emotion, in real life experience. It's not music that actually moves me, like say Ren or the Skinner Brothers or Youngblood. Creativity that stops me in my tracks. That music could never come from a text prompt. It just can't. AI cannot play from experience or write from loss or from joy or the specific texture of an afternoon in 1993 when everything felt possible and you were playing to nobody in a ramshackle pub, but it didn't matter because you were doing it with mates. AI doesn't know what it feels like to have your fingers cramp, to pick up a guitar that's barely out of tune and think, oh yeah, game on, it's been waiting. That's yours, all of it. The experience built from years of making things up, getting them wrong, being ignored, laughed at, walking home from a shit gig where no one turned up in the pouring rain because you missed the last bus and fell out with the guitarist who was your ride. And yet you carried on making more things anyway. That's the thing people get wrong about coming back. They assume it's starting from zero, that everything they had before, the gap, has to be relearnt from scratch, but it doesn't work like that. You paid your dues, you have been there, got the t-shirt, and you know the route, even if it's a little bit fuzzy. Think of it like a session file you left open years ago. A bit of digital dust, metaphorically speaking, as they say. The software's out of date since you opened it last, but it still works, just without the modern bells and whistles, and the arrangement's still there, the bones are still good, and the ear you developed, the taste you refined, none of that went away. Well, not too far anyway. You just have to press play and try to remember exactly what you did to get that sound. And here's the part I actually want to celebrate. Because for every person watching this who came back, there are another 10 who've been meaning to, who have the guitar in the corner or the keyboard under the bed still. And you might say, I'll get back to it when things settle down a little bit, yeah? When life's a little less hectic. Because you see, things never really settle down, do they? And I know you know that just as well as I do. You see, you didn't wait for things to settle. Well, maybe you did for a bit, but then you got off your backside and went to find the damn nail scissors so you could play until your fingers cramped, and you shook out your hands to get rid of the feeling and let the vibe take over again, and played through the pain just like you did as a teenager back in the beginning. And that, my friend, is the difference. So here's the only real question that actually matters a damn. What are you going to do with it now? And I'm framing that as a statement, not a question, because coming back is the door, but what the fuck is on the other side of that door? Well, that is a different question entirely, and that is purely down to you and what you want to make it. The single most common thing I see from people who generally mean it is treating the return as an achievement, celebrating like that is a success. But that's like Usain Bolt celebrating because he ran to the shops for a pint of milk. Yeah, you might be feeling the vibe, but if you're then just waiting again for the right conditions, the right song, the right moment, well, that ain't the finish line, is it? It's the starting line. You just got out of the blocks. Are you going to stop now and go home like you ran the race? Because the thing that turns a return into something real, something you can actually feel, is actually finishing something, getting the first song done and dusted in a way you can play to friends if you want to, or just to yourself if that's all it needs. One song doesn't have to be the best one, doesn't have to be polished, just finished, out of the drive and into the world. And that is exactly why I built the Finishing Line Challenge. 14 days, one song, a small group of musicians doing the same thing at the same time, nobody performing, nobody judging, just people like you finishing quietly in the same room. A bit of feedback here, a suggestion there, maybe finding someone who can play an instrument you struggle with, but no tutorials, no theory, just a structured path from wherever you are right now to a finished track. And the link's in the description, so why not come along and finish something? Oh, and before you click away, one more thing if you don't mind. If this landed, if something in here felt true, there's a decent chance you've watched a few of these without hitting subscribe. I know, I can see the stats. That's fine, I'm not collecting numbers, but if this channel is actually useful to you, that's the one signal you can give to me to keep making them. So you see, you came back, and that's what this video was really about. Not AI, not algorithms, not the music industry, the struggles with cramped fingers, or what's happening to the world around you. The musician who quietly picked up an instrument again while the rest of the world was looking somewhere else. Welcome back.